In the stillness of the night, when the rain is softly tapping on your windows, we gather to share tales that chill the bones. In the comforting hush of your living room, the world beyond the window panes morphs into a mystic carnival of the outlandish, an exhibition of the bizarre, accompanied by the soothing rhythm of the rain. The narratives we recount are fragments of hidden realities, ironically nestled within the folds of the commonplace. These are not simply creations of an imaginative mind. They are indeed a manifestation of the deeper and darker layers of our familiar world, a world that constantly conceals the extraordinary behind the drapes of the ordinary. As the rhythmic drizzle and the whispering wind orchestrate a symphony of tranquility, we embark on a journey into the realm of forgotten tales. These are stories that were once shared in secret, drowned in the commotion of urban existence, now resurrected in the tranquility of the night. They weave a vibrant tapestry of fear, suspense, and a thrilling sensation that sends shivers down your spine, making your heart race and your palms moist. The wind hums through the trees, leaves rustling beneath our feet like brittle bones, producing an eerie soundtrack for our stories. These are not tales brushed with hues of make-believe or fiction. They stand naked in their reality, colored with shades of horror that are too vivid to be brushed aside. Each tale is a narration drawn from the darkest corners of our existence, where shadows sway and fear assumes a tangible form. These tales are woven with strands of the grotesque, each thread spun from a reality that surpasses the confines of fiction. These are tales that seep through the cracks of routine, finding refuge in the hushed whispers of the night. These tales carry an icy gust that chills you to the bone, a wind that echoes the horrifying, the eerie, and the uncanny. Each narrative is a testament to the mysterious, the inexplicable, the things that trigger fear in the silence of the night, and each story emits its own unique chill. They are tales that send tingles down your spine, tales that make the hairs on the back of your neck prickle, tales that make your blood run cold. Each tale is a journey, a voyage into the obscure and the unknown, a descent into the deep crevices of the uncharted. Every story is a step, a leap of faith into the abyss of the unknown. These tales invite you to tread on the thin line that separates the illuminated from the shadowy, the comforting from the disconcerting, the rational from the inexplicable. As we traverse through the realm of these tales, we experience fear in its rawest form. Fear that permeates into the depths of your mind. Fear that lingers long after the tale has ended. With every tale, the boundary of our known world extends a little further, plunging us deeper into the abyss of the unknown. Every story adds a new layer to the mystery, every narrative unravels a new enigma. The tales paint a picture of a world that lies beyond the scope of our understanding, a world that exists in the shadows of our reality. They speak of things that live in the unseen corners, things that exist outside the realm of our knowledge. They talk of the unspoken, the unexplored, and the unfathomable. They whisper of the things that reside in the darkness, things that we fear and yet are inexplicably drawn towards. The tales serve as a window to this obscure world, offering a glimpse into the abyss that lies beyond the edge of our understanding. They carry us on a journey through the twisted labyrinth of the unknown, guiding, yet leaving us to find our way. As we delve deeper into the tales, we discover that the line separating the known and the unknown blurs, and we find ourselves in the heart of the mystery. We become explorers, adventurers, seekers, venturing into the darkness, guided by the flicker tales. Each tale, each narrative, each story we share adds a new dimension to our understanding of the world. They make us question, think, wonder. They compel us to look beyond the surface, to seek the truth that lies hidden beneath the veil. As we sit here, huddled in the warm glow of the living room, we invite you to join us on this journey. A journey into the heart of the unknown, into the abyss of the unspoken. A journey guided by tales that chill the bones. Are you ready to tread into the abyss of the unknown? Our first tale brings us to a solitary stretch of road, where the perceived fabric of reality and the unknown realms of the supernatural blur. This is a road that exists in a paradox of isolation and familiarity. A road that, despite being a well-trodden path, is spoken of with an eerie reverence, evoking hushed whispers and lingering glances of unease. The path is marked by an unsettling duality, where the mundane and the extraordinary, the living and the spectral, coexist in a chilling waltz of uncertainty. This road, steeped in local folklore, carries with it an anthology of strange occurrences, whispered tales of the supernatural passed down through numerous generations. Stories that have seeped into the consciousness of the locals, tales that have been woven into their very identities, their collective subconscious. Yet, despite the unsettling reputation that clings to it like an eerie shadow, the road continued to serve its function, acting as a crucial liaison between two distant towns. One brisk autumn night, a driver, whom we'll refer to as John, found himself on this spectral path. Evening had fallen, cloaking the world in a shroud of impenetrable darkness. The moon, a solitary sentinel in the star-dotted canvas of the night sky, hung low, casting elongated, dancing shadows that played a silent ballet with the rustling leaves. The only other source of illumination was the twin beams emanating from John's car headlights, cutting through the darkness like twin sabers, casting an ethereal glow over the desolate roadway. Unexpectedly, John's headlights flickered upon an unconventional sight, a solitary figure, a hitchhiker standing by the roadside. The stranger appeared as a spectral apparition, his features shrouded in the gloom. With an outstretched hand, he beckoned for a ride. John, a man guided by compassion, didn't hesitate before pulling over to offer assistance. After all, what harm could possibly from offering aid to a fellow traveler? As the hitchhiker clambered into the vehicle, a shiver rippled down his spine, his attire damp and clinging to his form, a result of the misty night air. He expressed his gratitude towards John in a voice that was barely a whisper, and provided an address, a destination that supposedly wasn't too far off the beaten path. As they embarked on their journey together, the stranger's presence seemed to fill the car with an uncanny coldness, an icy draft that seemed to seep into John's very marrow. The ensuing silence was deafening, each passing mile further amplifying John's discomfort. The hitchhiker remained motionless in his seat, his gaze fastened on the road ahead, his form merely a dark silhouette against the faint glow of the dashboard. Before John could articulate burgeoning unease, he glanced towards his companion and froze. The passenger seat, which was previously occupied, was now disconcertingly vacant. The chill in the air began to dissipate, replaced by a tangible sense of dread that sank into John's stomach like a lead weight. His heart pounded in his chest, each thud echoing loudly against the oppressive silence. John swiftly pulled over, his hands trembling like leaves in a storm. He fumbled for the switch, bathing the car in harsh light. He frantically scanned the space, the road, the surrounding inky darkness, but there was no trace of the hitchhiker. He had vanished. John was alone, the only remnants of his spectral passenger being the cold imprint on the seat and an address that led to nowhere. The silence of the night was overbearing. The realization of his solitary state took root, leaving John grappling with an inexplicable sense of foreboding. A heavy silence filled the car, the only audible sound being his heart pounding in his ears. The driver was left with nothing but the icy silence of the night and a story that no one would believe. For it was a tale of a vanishing hitchhiker, a phantom passenger who left behind more questions than answers. A chilling reminder that on this lonely stretch of road, reality and the supernatural are but a hair's breadth apart. Art can move us, inspire us, but can it curse us? Our next story explores this chilling possibility. Once upon a time, in the bustling realm of the art world, an eerie narrative began to circulate. It sent shivers down the spines of artists, collectors, historians, and spectators alike. This story, this legend, did not revolve around a particular artist's life or a specific art technique, but was focused on a single painting. This painting was not just an ordinary work of art, it was the harbinger of disaster, the bringer of ill luck, and the spreader of tragedy to all those who had the courage or the misfortune to acquire it. The artwork, named as ominously as its repute, The Cursed One, is a mesmerizing yet macabre portrayal of a serene landscape. The peaceful facade of the painting and the hidden danger it supposedly harbors create an endlessly shifting dynamic of fear, curiosity, and fascination. Behind the tranquil panorama, however, lurks an unsettling tale of despair, torment, and sorrow that's as gripping as it is frightening. This tale of doom and gloom begins with an artist, an individual known for his skill, passion, and creativity. As the story goes, The artist was battling through the throes of grief and insanity while crafting this painting. Each stroke of his brush was filled with anguish, each hue was steeped in sorrow. Over time, it was as though his spirit was gradually absorbed by the canvas, until it was completely ensnared within the borders of the painting. The legend insists that his tormented soul is trapped within the painting, inflicting his eternal torment onto anyone who dares to possess this seemingly harmless piece of art. The cursed one has traveled through time, from one owner to another, with each one supposedly meeting a grim fate. The stories of these ill-fated individuals are both chilling and fascinating. One such account involves a wealthy art collector last seen in front of the cursed one in his secure private gallery. Soon after, he mysteriously disappeared, leaving behind no trace of his existence. The sole silent witness to his vanishing act was the painting. In another spine-chilling episode, an esteemed art critic known for his thought-provoking critiques met a tragic end in a horrifying car accident. This incident unfolded a few days after he had published a harsh critique of the cursed one. It was as though the painting sought to avenge the insult, adding yet another layer of mystery to its legend. The shadow of the cursed one looms large over the lives of its owners, infesting them with its curse and leading their lives into a whirlwind of unfortunate events. The fear of its curse has grown so pervasive that many now refuse to even share a room with it, petrified that the curse will spread to them, much like a contagious malady. Despite all the rumors, tales of misfortune, and fears associated with it, the painting continues to circulate. Its dark allure attracts the adventurous, the curious, and the brave. Some are captivated by beauty, entranced by the tranquil landscape that conceals a tormented soul. Others are thrilled by the prospect of owning something infamous, something that carries a curse. The danger associated with it seems to add to its attraction, much like a forbidden fruit. But one fact remains indisputable. The painting continues to bring sorrow and despair to those who dare to own it. In many ways, it mirrors the tormented soul of its creator, forever encapsulated within its canvas. Despite its serene exterior, the painting is a persistent reminder of the grief, torment, and madness its creator endured and subsequently passed on to its viewers and owners. So, next time you admire a piece of art, remember, it might just be gazing back at you. As you stand before it, absorbing its beauty or trying to decipher its message, always remember that art can carry more than just beauty. It can carry a story, an emotion, and in the case of the cursed one, it can carry a curse. What happens when the dead refuse to rest? Our next tale brings this terrifying question to life. We delve into the life of a woman with an ordinary name, Mary. Mary was a woman of simple tastes, aged gracefully in her middle years. Her soft grey eyes held a serene calmness, and her hair boasted the colour of warm and comforting autumn leaves. She carried a certain charm of speckled wisdom and maturity, a beautiful bloom of life's experiences. For over 3 decades, she shared her existence with a man named John, who was her compass, her constant. John was a man of humble demeanour, a man of few words, but an ocean of love for Mary. His eyes shone with the vibrant colour of the clear summer sky, and his smile had the ability to illuminate even the darkest corners of a room. His heart had made its home with Mary, and their connection was a phenomenon, an anomaly that seemed to defy the very laws of nature. Together they wrote their love story, a tale of 2 souls harmoniously intertwined in an unbreakable bond of love, understanding, and mutual respect. However, the wheel of destiny turned, and John was stolen away from the world and from Mary due to an unforeseen ailment. Mary was left grieving, her heart carrying the weight of a gaping wound that nothing could heal. Their house, once a vessel of joyous laughter, love, and life, was now painted with a haunting silence, only disturbed by the occasional ringing of the telephone. Then, on a day like any other, the phone rang, and Mary, anticipating a call from her sibling, answered. Instead of the comforting familiarity of her sister's voice, she was met with a static-filled whisper. It was John's voice. His unique tone was unmistakable, even through the distortion of the connection. His voice reverberated in her ears, a symphony of sweet sorrow, love, and longing. He spoke to her, his words carrying a heavy weight of love and sadness. Mary's heart pounded within her ribcage like an untamed drum. She hung up, her hands trembling with a cocktail of emotions. However, the calls were relentless, occurring at the same time. always with John's voice ushering from the other end. He spoke about their past, about their shared memories, their joyous celebrations, about the nights they spent under the vast star-studded sky. He reflected on their love, their life together. His voice always maintained a melancholic tone. Mary found herself straddling between feelings of fear and comfort. Was this a result of her profound grief, or was it John, genuinely reaching out from beyond, unable to release their shared life? In her pursuit of clarity, Mary sought the help of a psychic. She was informed that spirits reaching out to their loved ones wasn't a rare phenomenon. She was told that John's love for her was so potent that it even transcended the barrier of death. Yet the calls began to mentally and emotionally drain Mary. The sound of the phone ringing rained shivers down her spine. She was caught in a constant state of anxiety, anticipating the next call, the next conversation with her late husband. As days melted into weeks, Mary made a decision. She decided to change her number, cutting off John's connection. The calls halted, the silence returned. But this silence was one of her own choosing, her own peace. She chose to remember John for the love he showered her with, not for the fear his calls stirred within her. She chose to accept his death, to hold on to the beautiful memories they weaved together. Life's wheel must keep turning, she murmured to herself as she sat alone in the silence of her home. She knew the journey wouldn't be easy, but she was prepared to try, for her welfare, and for John's memory. He would want her to be happy, to lead a fulfilling life in his absence, and so, she decided to face her fears, to embrace the silence, and to keep moving forward. Is it comfort or horror when the voice on the other end of the line is someone who is no longer of this world? The answer is nestled within the heart. As Mary discovered, sometimes silence can be a comforting companion, a testament to the love that transcends even the barrier of death. Hospitals, places of healing, or portals to the other side. Our next tale might make you reconsider your perceptions on your next visit. Let us venture into the intriguing narrative of St. Mary Cess, an ancient edifice of healthcare and medicine, neatly nestled within the confines of an unremarkable town. Its origins are shrouded in history, as are the uncanny stories that have come to define it. Patients, nurses, and doctors alike whisper tales of the spectral entities they've encountered within the sacred walls of this institution, contributing to a chilling lore that continues to grow with each passing day. Among the most frequently reported apparitions is a lady in white, believed to be the spirit of a nurse from the early 1900s. Nurses, whispering their accounts in hushed tones, describe her as a spectral entity drifting through the labyrinthine corridors, her melodic voice echoing with lullabies from a bygone era. They say she met her end in a tragic inferno that consumed the hospital, yet her spirit reportedly continues to perform her rounds. She is said to bring comfort to the sick and the frightened, with her soothing melodies that ripple through the silent corridors, breaking the stillness of the night. Of equal intrigue is the tale of the ghostly, a figure from the past. He was a medical practitioner of unwavering dedication, striving tirelessly to breathe life back into those on the brink of death. His efforts, however, were cut short when he succumbed to a sudden, unforeseen illness. Despite his physical absence, hospital staff have reported sightings of his ghost in the surgery room. It is said that he appears at the moment a patient's life hangs in the balance, his spectral hands mimicking the motions of surgeries he can no longer perform in the corporeal world. Patients, too, have their own eerie tales to share. Many recount waking up in the dead of night to the sight of a small child standing by their bedside. Forever smiling, forever silent, he disappears into the darkness as quickly as he appears. Is believed to be a former patient who tragically passed away within the confines of the hospital many years ago, but seems to have found a way to continue existing in a parallel realm tantalizingly out of our reach. Yet, the hospital's eerie lore goes beyond these tales. The walls echo not just with the sounds of the present, but with those of the past. Laughter, cries, footsteps. They all form a narrative of the countless souls who once roamed these halls, sought help within these walls. They serve as a reminder of the lives that were saved, but also of those that were tragically lost. These stories serve as a stark reminder that hospitals, while primarily seen as places of healing, can also be spaces where the line between life and death is frightfully thin. In these locations, It's not uncommon for ethereal beings to linger, their ghostly narratives reverberating through the corridors of time. While unsettling, these tales harbor a strange sense of beauty. They compel us to reflect on life's fragility and the inexorable grip of death. They make us question our own mortality and ponder over the enigmatic mysteries of the cosmos. So next time, when you step into a hospital, remember it's not just a place of healing, but a place that has witnessed the full spectrum of human emotions: joy, fear, hope, despair, and loss. It's a place that has seen the beginning and end of countless human narratives. In a place where life and death dance so closely, perhaps it's no surprise that some souls get left behind. Welcome to the crypt of other real-life horror tales, where the truth can be far more terrifying than fiction. The stories we share are a constant reminder that reality can often be more frightening and spine-chilling than even the most elaborate horror film. These tales dare us to tread on the thin line between fact and fear, inviting us into the unseen corners of our minds. Here, every flicker of candlelight or rustling leaf sends a shiver up your spine, and the ordinary takes on a sinister aspect. Our first tale begins in a seemingly tranquil rural landscape of America. An old secluded farmhouse sits alone in this setting, its solitude adding to the eeriness of its existence. It's the kind of place where peace and quiet can morph into isolation and fear. The inhabitants of this farmhouse, a family whose only crime was being at the wrong place at the wrong time, reported hauntings and bizarre occurrences that would make your skin crawl. They confessed to seeing ethereal, shadowy figures flickering in the corner of their eyes, catching them off guard. Objects within the home seemed to move on their own, defying the laws of physics. Even worse, the haunting sound of footsteps could be heard from the attic when everyone was surely downstairs. These inexplicable events took a nightmarish turn one bone-chilling winter night. The family awoke to a sight that filled them with dread. Every door and window in the house were flung wide open, the icy wind howling through the corridors as if an unseen force had claimed their home. The horrifying realization that they were sharing their space with an otherworldly entity was more than they could bear. Without a second thought, the family packed their belongings and departed the next day, leaving behind the echoes of their chilling experiences imprinted within the old farmhouse. From the rural landscapes, we delve into the world of technology, where it appears even the digital realm isn't safe from the supernatural. A man leading an ordinary life suddenly found himself engulfed in the extraordinary. He received a mysterious text message from an unknown number. The unidentified sender claimed to be a messenger from the future, warning him of an impending disaster. A concept that seems straight out of a science fiction novel, right? Yet, as the days passed, the text became alarmingly specific, predicting minor, everyday events that, to his bewilderment, began to come true. This man was forced to live in a state of perpetual fear, constantly looking over his shoulder, waiting for a disaster that was predicted but never came. Just as suddenly as they had started, the ominous text stopped, leaving him in a state of overwhelming paranoia that plagued his every waking moment. The fear of the unknown turned his life into a waking nightmare, proving that sometimes the most terrifying experiences are those we create in our own minds. Our journey takes us to a quaint neighborhood, typically bustling with the mundane sounds of everyday life. However, the residents of this particular neighborhood reported an unusual occurrence. As darkness fell, the unsettling sound of a child's laughter echoed through the silent streets. Laughter, a symbol of joy and innocence, became sinister in the quiet of the night. The source of this laughter was never discovered, and the strangest part is there were no children living in the neighborhood. Each night the residents endured this eerie soundtrack, a laughter that should have been joyful, but instead sent chills down their spines. These are the stories drawn from the farthest corners of reality, each one more disturbing than the last. They serve as stark reminders that horror isn't confined to the pages of a book or the scenes of a movie. It often lurks in the most mundane corners of our lives, waiting to rear its terrifying head when we least expect it. In the dead of night, when the world is silent, shadows dance on the walls, we come to the chilling realization that we're never truly alone. Remember, fear is only as deep as the mind allows. Sleep tight and don't let the bedbugs bite. As we come to the end of our journey through the shadows, remember these aren't mere stories. These are intricate narratives that interweave the normality of the everyday with the allure of the unknown, the mundane, and the miraculous. They are the bone-chilling accounts of everyday individuals, people just like you and me, who found themselves teetering on the edge of the abyss that separates the natural world from the realm of the supernatural. Let's take a beat to stop, to meditate, and to truly comprehend the gravity of the tales we've ventured through together. The disappearing hitchhiker, an apparition that manifests itself only to vanish without leaving a trace, leaving those who've encountered it with an everlasting bone-chilling memory. This isn't just a horror story, it's a phenomenon that has crossed mountains and oceans, permeating different societies and times. It has left us questioning our fundamental understanding of time and space. The icy chill that crept down our spines as we enter this enigmatic encounter will be hard to forget. It stands as a testimonial to the unsettling whispers of the past that sometimes refuse to be silenced, refuse to disappear into obscurity. Next, consider the tale of the cursed painting, a piece of canvas that held more than mere pigments and the meticulous brushwork of the artist's imagination. It was a vessel for a malevolent force, an ominous energy that transcended the laws of physics and seeped into the fabric of our reality, bringing chaos and despair. This was not just an antiquity, it was a stark memento of the power that art can wield, the unsettling fact that artistic expression can occasionally open doorways to malevolent dimensions that defy our comprehension. Then there was the call from the afterlife. Can anyone overlook the spine-chilling narrative of a voice reaching out from beyond life's curtain? An ominous telephone ring piercing the silence of the night, a stark reminder that the line separating the living and the dead can sometimes blur. Occasionally, the departed might just dial your number to say hello, reminding us that death isn't a final conclusion, but perhaps a spine-tingling continuation. Consider the haunted hospital tale, a place to restoring health that became a breeding ground for supernatural phenomena. The chilling sounds reverberating in the deserted hallways, the ghosts seemingly trapped in an endless repetition of their past lives, the cold spots that freeze your very soul. It served as a stark reminder that even in places committed to sustaining life and facilitating recovery, death can leave a potent, enduring mark. And let's not forget the myriad of other horror stories, each one a spine-chilling narrative of encounters with the inexplicable. These tales extend beyond cultural and geographical confines, drawing us into a vortex of dread and intrigue. Each account, whether it's about a haunted mansion, a demon-possessed toy, or a spectral figure lost in the wilderness, is a testament to the fact that sometimes actuality can be far stranger, far darker, and far more terrifying than any fabricated horror story. As we draw the curtains on these spine-chilling narrations, let us hold these tales close. They are not mere entertaining tales told around a campfire or stories woven to scare children. They are the stark reminders of the world's hidden corners, where the inexplicable resides. They are the echoing whispers of those who've crossed over, the icy shivers that assail our senses when we feel we're not alone. These stories remind us that the world we believe we know, the world we see, hear, smell, touch, and taste, is merely a thin facade. Beneath it, hidden in the shadows, reside tales that defy logical explanation, that challenge our perception of the cosmos. They serve as a constant reminder that fear is a universal emotion, an experience that transcends race, religion, and geographic boundaries. In the dead of the night, when the world around you sleeps, remember these tales and know you are not alone in your